Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the CanUK podcast, the podcast done by fans for fans of everything nerdy. I'm your host, Lord X, and I welcome you to the show this week. And joining me this week, the one, the only, Big Boss.
Hello, hello, everybody.
And how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Uh, Not much of a show this week. Not a whole lot of news since the last recording, since the last recording was fairly recent, I think.
Mhm.
But we got a decent show here. We got a special segment we're going to go over, and Big Boss is going to answer his own question from the last show.
Yes, I will. I got to put my money where my mouth is, and I put you guys on the spot. It's kind of entertaining to hear how much you struggled with that, actually. I didn't think it'd be that hard, but
Yeah, it was out of the blue like that.
yeah, no, I'll back it up, and I'll return the favor.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make a mention on Twitter now to see if anybody else has questions.
Sounds
Alright,
good.
there we go. Alright, well, let's dive straight into the news stories that we have this week before we do our special segment. First off, in the gaming news, it was announced yesterday actually, that Destiny will be getting a digital upgrade offer. Meaning, if you buy the game on the PS3 or Xbox 360, you can upgrade for free on the next-gen console, as long as you keep within the same console family.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that's pretty good to, help people transfer over to the next-gen system.
Well, exactly. If you don't have a PlayStation 4 yet, and that's what you want to play Destiny on, well,
Hmm.
now it's like there's no reason to wait, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You can play now, and then when you get the chance to buy a PS4, you know Destiny's already waiting for you there.
Yeah.
And your character stats will transfer too, so.
That was my next question, so that works perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't have it pre-ordered, I'd say I'd be tempted to do it.
Yeah, to get it on both systems, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you've got our next story.
Yes, we do, or yes, I do. And it's also in the gaming world, and this is a bit of a scary thing, something that
Ooh.
I will not be partaking in. That's that Slender, The Arrival, has a release date revealed for PS3 and Xbox 360. It's coming September 24th for 10 US dollars on the network.
Ooh, my.
So online, yeah, Xbox Live Arcade, uh, PSN.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh, does anybody really care about Slender anymore?
that's the thing is, it's a good game for people who are into survival horror, or well, not even survival horror, who are into horror games.
Mm-hmm.
But while it was quite groundbreaking at the time, how many Slender clones have we seen over the last, like, 2 years, three
Oh
years?
god, too many.
Exactly. How many iterations of Slender have we seen?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
if that's your thing, cool. And, now it's available to an audience other than PC players.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
I think the Slender Man's kind of overdone a bit.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And we've got, like, better horror things on the go now anyway, like
Yeah,
the PT demo.
exactly, which you played in real life this morning.
Yeah, yeah, essentially I did.
Uh, go check out his Twitter to see what I mean. Um, yeah, and I don't know. It's not for me anyways. I'm not big on horror, as we all know. Resident Evil's about as far into horror as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time even watching people play Slender, let alone playing it myself. So, yeah.
Alright, well, our next story covers a release date I'm sure you are interested in.
A little bit more so than Slender, yeah.
Yeah, it's been announced that on April 14th, 2015, we will get Mortal Kombat X. And if you
Nice.
pre-order today, you can play as Goro.
Cool.
And
Or,
from what we've been seeing so far of Mortal Kombat 10 and what's been reported onto it, they maybe crossing the line with fatalities with how gruesome they are now.
That's what I'm hearing, but at the same time, part of me thinks that it's just because now we're getting like, the graphics are getting more and more real.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, you look at the crappy cartoony old school stuff and it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Now we can do the exact same thing, but because we have better graphics, it's more across the line pretty much. I don't know.
Yeah. I find it a little bit funny because if you look back, 15 years ago, the same conversation was being had about the original Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, it's true. And that's the thing, is it's always a product of the times, right?
Mm-hmm. And so they're basically just catching up with themselves, I guess.
Well, at least we know they're delivering consistently shocking content.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the game's going to be awesome. It's looking great anyway.
And I've heard that this one's even smoother than like the last one as far as the gameplay goes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think it's neat that you have the three different styles to fight with.
Yeah.
Which means, and it's different in the way that Deadly Alliance and Deception had three styles too.
Mm-hmm.
But so I mean, it means you and I could both be playing Scorpion. We could have completely different styles of play, given that how we choose to use the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. I'm probably not going to be pre-ordering this like I did the last one.
Mm-hmm. I might right now, just because it is in April and kind of away from everything else that we know of so far.
Oh yeah, don't worry, it will fill up.
Won't be worse than February.
No, but at the same time, especially if it's continuing off whatever studio NetherRealm.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been continuing off what they've been doing, I think we're pretty much gold. Like the last Mortal Kombat, the story was great.
Mm-hmm.
Even better than that was Injustice.
Yeah.
So now with this, as long as they keep that trend going, I'd say Mortal Kombat's going in a great direction.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Now we know when to start. Well, I'm sure we were already excited, but now we know when the light at the tunnel will be.
Yeah. All right, well, it's time to move over into some TV and movie news, and you've got our first batch of news.
Yes, and that's that the Constantine TV series has been cast Jim Corrigan, a.k.a. the Spectre, or the future Spectre. He will be the Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're... sorry, this is new news to me, so I'm kind of reading this as I go along. But apparently that they're kind of saying that could be a way as using it as opening the door to get the Spectre his own show at some point.
Oh, nice.
So we don't know that for sure. Well, they're saying that it looks like if it works well, if it's received well, given that the occultness of the DC universe hasn't been explored that much, if at all, really.
No, not really, no.
Other than, the Keanu Reeves.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, which do we talk about, that or Daredevil? Yeah, okay, I'll Irish actor Emmett Scanlon will play Corrigan.
Oh, fiddly-dee.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading this as I go. Corrigan will be a homicide detective in New Orleans who is plunged into Constantine's world of occult horrors. Furthermore, Corrigan is someone who is obsessed with justice and who doesn't let police procedure or red tape stop him from putting away the bad guys, even if the bad guys turn out to be inhuman. Sweet. And a note that Constantine will premiere on October 24th on NBC.
Yay! Can't wait.
Oh, there's so much TV, like...
Especially DC-related TV.
I got Arrow, Flash, Constantine, and Gotham. There's 4 things right there.
And don't forget iZombie.
Wait, what?
That's the that's the other DC comic book that's coming out. Or yeah, it's a Vertigo comic, so an offshoot of DC, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh crap! Well, I'll see. I'll look into that and see if it's worth checking out,
Hmm.
or see if I'm interested in checking it out rather.
Yeah.
Then there's gonna be Preacher at some point too,
Yep.
whenever that comes out,
And on the Marvel side, we got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
which I'm not into, so that does save me a little bit of time. Then Walking Dead's gonna start up again.
Yep. And speaking of The Walking Dead...
Did I just do? Oh, I just did that. That wasn't even intentional. That wasn't even intentional.
Unintentional segues. That's
Take
how
it
we
away.
roll. Well, Walking Dead. Are we getting enough Walking Dead? Apparently not, because AMC has ordered a pilot episode for the Walking Dead spin-off series. That's right, there's going
Ooh.
to be a new one. So, yeah, as a quote here from AMC President Charlie Culler, almost from the beginning of The Walking Dead on AMC, fans have been curious about what is going on in the zombie apocalypse in other parts of the world. In fact, beyond requests for zombie cameos, it's the one question I get asked the most. So, yeah, trying to see here. Nothing really specific of what it's going to be about. There are many corners of the Walking Dead universe that remain unseen in the shadows. Being given the opportunity to shine a light into those corners and see what lurks out there is an absolute thrill. So maybe this will be like different stories from around the world instead of just like following one group.
Yeah, maybe they could even take a similar approach to the way 400 Days did,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and little chapter like episodes based on here's one group, and then have 3 episodes dedicated to them, and then another group with X number of episodes for them, and
Mhm.
who knows?
Yep, that would work. Or it can maybe be done in the same style as the zombies. Not the zombie survival. The World War Z. Sorry, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
The style of the book where it was like just like journal entries of like random stories.
Yeah, pieced together within that universe.
Mhm.
It is noted here that the pilot is scheduled for production in late 2014.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
yeah.
All right. Well, we've got one last batch of news, and it's a bit of a doozy involving one of Big Boss's best friends.
My best friend, well, one of my best friends. And that's the guy who I always go to the movies with, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has announced over Twitter, his Instagram, and, well, everyone else reported it, that he will be playing Black Adam in Shazam.
A what?
Yeah, so, I mean, we remember a while ago when The Rock was tweeting about some, like, mysterious DC meetings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the big speculation was that he would be playing Green Lantern.
John Stewart.
John Stewart, yeah, like the black one, not the Daily Show host.
Mm-hmm.
As awesome as that would be,
I would love to see actual John Stewart as a Green Lantern.
just like Undertaker versus Sting, right? From the Police. So it looks like we finally got our answer as to what that was, and The Rock did a good job steering us away from it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody thought he was going to play Shazam, which, that would normally be his kind of style.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people are talking about that. Is maybe he was cast in the wrong role. That it would be better for him to be playing as Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't read enough DC comicers. Yeah, comicers. I can't speak. I don't read enough DC comics to be too familiar with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially considering they're some of the lesser, they're not the big mainstream ones, right?
No.
So for me, I don't know which one The Rock would be more suited to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't comment too much. I'm just happy to see my boy Dwayne getting another big movie for himself.
Yeah. And DC getting, another big actor for their movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, personally, I'm happy that he's playing, a bad guy, or, well, I'm kind of worried because he said anti-hero, so they may be leaning more towards the new 52 version of Black Adam, so Who
Okay.
knows what's going to happen there, but hopefully he gets introduced as a villain first. Maybe
Okay.
kind of go the Loki route.
Yeah. Become a
uh,
fan favorite and then,
yeah, possibly get his own movie or something.
yeah.
But yeah, his normal style would be more akin to Shazam, just from what I've seen out of the DC animated movies, and well, Injustice to a point as well.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it just well, Shazam, as everybody know, or most people know, he's a 10-year-old boy who shouts the word Shazam, gets blasted by magical lightning, and turns into an adult with superpowers, basically. And that kind of like childlike energy and whatnot, that does scream The Rock in many ways.
But maybe they just couldn't find a kid who would make sense to turn into the Rock.
True, true. They
That
didn't
is
call you,
weird.
did they?
I'm a little old for that. I'm 14 years past 10, so damn it.
Yeah.
That would be such a dream come true for me, though. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, but either way, very interesting news, and gonna be quite intrigued to see what does come about this.
I agreed.
Yep. All right, well, wow, we are flying through the news this week.
Shortest podcast ever?
It may end up that way. Well,
Wow.
let's
Let's slow things down a little bit.
yeah, take it nice and easy. All right, well, let's do our little special segment this week. Little suggestion from Big Boss himself, and weeks where the news is slow and we don't have really a big thing to talk about or games of the month to go over. From now on, we're going to do a little top 3, top 5, or top 10 list. Some of these will be in order, some of them won't be in order. Some of them will be on the spot, and some won't be on the spot. This one was kind of on the spot, but
There was a little bit more notice than the last week's.
yes, yes. Uh, and this week's entry is our top 5 support characters in video games. Now, for the most part, these will be NPC related, but we're going to give ourselves a little leeway, and some of these characters may actually be playable as well.
Just not the main character, I think, is the kind of the rule.
Mm-hmm. All right, so how should we go about this? One each, back and forth?
Yeah, sure. That works for me.
All right, well, why don't you give the folks your first one?
All right, I'm going to start off with, well, we all know I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's pretty obvious who the greatest support character in that game is, and that's, no doubt, Otacon. So, yeah, I'm going to give him my vote as one of my top 5 support characters, because he's always got your back, ever since, you first meet him in the first game when he's scared alone and pissing himself. And it's cool because you really see him grow through the series through games 1 to 4, which I don't think you finished 4, so I'll avoid spoilers.
Nah, I don't care at this point.
Well, I don't fully remember all of them either. I should be replaying that game more. I love that game. But no, you really see the character grow, and he's come so far from that kind of whiny, nerdy guy he was in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I definitely put him in my top 5.
Cool. Well, the first one out of my top 5 is kind of a similar character, and that's Oracle from the Batman Arkham series.
Okay, yeah.
With her always there, like giving Batman help throughout the game. She doesn't really do much in terms of like physically helping you because, well, she's stuck in a wheelchair, but yeah, she's always there with info and really helps the story progress, I think.
It's very fitting that those are our 2 picks. They go hand in hand there.
As soon as you said Otacon, I was like, yeah, well, might as well start off with her.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, what's your next one?
My next one I'm going to actually list 2, because I'm not 100% sure about how this one works. One of them would be Sid Highwind from Final Fantasy VII,
Mm-hmm.
but I find having played through that game, Sid is more than just a support character. He becomes a very big character that you even play as for a little while. Spoiler alert, while Cloud has Mako poisoning. So yeah, you actually run around the world map as Sid. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Because he's my favorite character in the whole game. Hence my Twitter handle and everything. That's where, yeah, he would be one, but that's where I'm kind of iffy on including him. The other one who I'm also kind of iffy on including would be Clementine from The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
Because in the first game, she was a support character who you protected and nurtured and everything, and helped kind of raise through that zombie world. And we're all in the second game. She's the main character, so I'm like, well, shit, that's kind of hard to classify her now, isn't it? Yeah, Clementine is probably one of my favorite video game characters of the last little while, actually.
Yeah, she's so well written.
Yeah.
And she becomes yours, basically, in the second game.
Exactly. And like in the first game, normally when I play through video games, I go for kind of like the ruthless badass. That's where my playthrough of The Wolf Among Us, that was the role I totally played up. Like, minor spoiler alert here, when you have to choose if you kill one of the Tweedles, I killed him in a heartbeat. And my sister was all like, oh my god, like, no, you don't do that. And I'm like, hey, he was threatening Toad and his family. I'm like, I'm going to kill these guys. And because that's my style. I go for kind of the anti-hero, renegade sort of thing.
Yep.
I'm good, but I'm a badass, Jack Bauer. And I would totally have done that more in The Walking Dead if it wasn't for the fact that Clementine was watching me and she was kind of like my moral compass. So, I didn't want to expose her to like these harsh things. So I found myself, being more forgiving and stuff like that, which, for a video game character to really make me rethink my gaming morals, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, those are my two into one there I'm going to throw.
Nice. All right, well, my next one, not a whole lot to explain. That would be from South Park, The Stick of Truth, Butters. Just because it was so fucking awesome to have probably my favorite South Park character following me around and helping me through my quests and just all the little things he would say throughout. Trying to think of an example here. Going into Cartman's house, basically, and just, like, start beating up stuff. Either he would be, shouldn't do that, or, yeah, break his shit. That was just awesome. It was just cool having, Butters with me throughout. That just made the game even better for me.
It would be like having, like, I don't know, in a good Simpsons game, having Flanders. Flanders is my favorite Simpsons character, so... Yeah.
I could see that, yeah. Plus, he was pretty badass, too, fighting, so that hammer of his did wicked damage.
I feel bad that I still haven't played Stick of Truth.
Oh, you need to.
So I'm going to I keep forgetting about it, so I'm going to make sure I keep my eyes open for that, because, yeah, I need to play that.
Yep. You should, because it's definitely a Game of the Year candidate.
Yeah. Was that this year it came out? 14?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Dad. What's your next?
Well, here's a character that I think you're going to that you are becoming more and more familiar with, and that is Garrus Vakarian.
Oh, yes.
From Mass Effect. Yeah, I don't know. I really, really like Garrus. And, well, you've played through most of 2, I think?
I played the entirety of 2.
Okay. Well, so Garrus comes back in 2. And when you're doing that, when you have to, like, recruit your squad and you see, like, Archangel, I'm like, I'm going to go get Archangel first. He sounds the coolest. And then I discovered that was Garrus, and I was just so thrilled because he was one of my favorite characters in the first game. And to get him to rejoin my squad, I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. And then, of course, he's in the third game as well. And to me, Garrus is like in the Mass Effect series, Garrus was my favorite character, hands down. Well, he's my favorite character to make it through all 3 games, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if Garrus had died in the suicide mission at 2, I would have just shut up and start over from the beginning and found a way to make him live, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So he'd be he's high up there on my list.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, the next one for me is another female, and that's the princess. I can't remember her name exactly, from Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
Oh, yeah.
The original. Just because she was an awesome character. She wasn't, your typical princess where you have to go and rescue her.
She wasn't in another castle.
Yeah, exactly. She knew how to protect herself. She was witty. She was smart. And
Help you out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, until she started shooting arrows and knocking me off a ledge.
Oh.
Yeah, but other than that, she was a great help throughout the game, and just the story between her and the prince was just awesome. Like, they didn't go with the typical romance right off the beginning. The two actually grew closer together as the story progressed in a natural way.
Are we're talking about the Prince of Persia with Nathan Drake voicing the prince?
Was that Nolan North way back when?
I think that was Nolan North. I'm gonna look that up, but I'm pretty sure that was like the cartoony one, right?
Yeah, like the absolute original one.
Well, there were like not the one that was on PS3.
No, the PS2 version.
Okay,
like
no, I'm
the original Prince.
okay. No, I'm thinking of the PS3 version, which was Nolan North.
Oh, okay, the cell shaded one.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, no, I wasn't including that one.
Where's this? Movies, live action, video games. Prince of Persia, yeah, he was the prince in that one that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
But no, because when you said them getting closer, one of the neat things about that Prince of Persia game with Nolan North was originally like when you're just kind of like standing around and she's standing around, there's like a good amount of distance between them. But as the game gets closer, she grows to actually be more comfortable standing closer to the prince.
Oh, okay. Never noticed that.
Yep, that's one thing, that like a little detail they threw in there that had I not read about, I probably wouldn't have noticed. But yeah, so anyways, sorry to interrupt, but I had to clarify that for myself.
Cool. All right then. Well, back to you for your next one.
Okay, my other one is also going to be from Mass Effect. The first one, the character who I like even more than Garrus, so you don't get to play with him in the next few games, is Rex. I love Rex. He is like my favorite character, and I don't know how far you're into Mass Effect 1.
I actually just got Rex.
Okay. He's great.
I thought Rex was in the second one then.
Well, I'm not going to give away any spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say that if I were you, I'd level up my speechcraft.
Oh, okay.
Put points into talking. Talking is important, as I discovered on my first playthrough. We'll talk more about that later, because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, Rex ended up being in all 3 of my games. I'll just say that. Okay. And though he doesn't become a member of your party in the next 2.
Okay.
So that kind of bummed me out, because I love Rex, and yeah, that's where and Garrus ended up kind of taking his place and always being my other go-to guy throughout the rest of the games. But I don't know, it's everything about him. I like his kind of brutality. He does have a sense of humor. Seems to have more or less a good heart. So I don't know. I'd have to replay it to be able to put my finger on exactly why I like him so much. But Rex is definitely one of my favorite support characters.
Okay, cool. Alright, well, for my next one, I'm going to go old school. Really, really, really old school.
Okay.
Yoshi from Super Mario World.
Oh, wow. But you could play as Yoshi in Smash Brothers. I'll stop trolling.
But yeah, the very first time you meet, or the very first game that Yoshi's introduced to, I mean, God, it was great getting that dinosaur and just, wrecking house. I used to always hate losing him, like, throughout a level and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely Yoshi for me. Maybe,
Nice.
maybe not exactly a support character, but...
No, we get what you're going
yeah.
through. You're going for, and yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
Alright.
I don't think anyone will dispute that.
Alright, well, back to you for your last one. And I'm kind
My
of
last
curious if
pick.
we have the same one.
I don't know if we do, but I think you should expect this one from me.
Okay.
And let's just say that he's the epitome of alpha. Genetically different. And I'm talking about Brucey from Grand Theft Auto 4. You know, I love GTA 5, and I love but 4, for whatever reason, holds a very special place in my heart. Despite the fact that now I probably can't go back and play it because it's gonna like the gameplay mechanics feel like crap compared to 5 and how pretty much flawless that was. Um, but I loved the characters in 4. As annoying as it was to have to always go bowling and stuff like that.
Nico, bowling?
Let's go bowling. We go look at Titsy's cousin. But with Roman, he was fun. Little Jacob was another one I was definitely considering for this list. But Brucey takes the cake for me. I don't know what it is, but he's always, the moment you meet him, I'm like, who is this guy? And then just listening to his conversations as you drive around, he's just hilarious. This roid junkie character. And, you phone him, and he's, at the end of your conversation, he's like, stay alpha, bro. So, that's where I started saying that. I got all my friends saying that in real life. All my coworkers, whenever I leave, hey, stay alpha, bro. We leave notes for my boss, who's old enough to be my dad, and I'm like, stay alpha. That's just, I got that from Brucey, and I made it catch on. So, yeah, I think Brucey would probably be one of my all-time favorite, if not the all-time favorite support character in any video game for me.
Awesome. And yeah, my last one is far, far from Brucey as it gets. And that's Ellie from The Last of Us.
I thought of her too. I was really, really considering her for the list. So you do play as her for a little while, but I think the amount of time you spend playing as Joel kind of overshadows that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the way it was really well done. Like, the game is an escort quest in its entirety if you look at it.
Yeah.
But Ellie's just like, she helps you out a lot.
You don't have to babysit her.
Exactly.
Which is, I know you have your gripes about BioShock Infinite, but you have to admit, Elizabeth, I think, was that her name?
Yeah.
Elizabeth was done perfectly as a follow you NPC. In the sense that it's not like Ashley from Resident Evil 4. It's the epitome of the bane of my existence. That's just the worst escort quest ever. Oh. Yeah, no, as far as escort quests go, yeah, Ellie is...
Yep. Even though sometimes she may run out ahead and enemies won't see her anyway.
Yeah.
She's just that good at stealth.
She's like trained from Solid Snake or something.
Yeah. All she needed was a cardboard box. Alright, well, I guess that does it for our random segment, and yep, we're still making great time this week.
It took up a little bit of time, which is good, but we also have other things we can talk about too.
Yes, and that's our been playing, been watching, and maybe we've been reading something, who knows.
We'll find out soon.
Yes, so let's dive into our been playing first. I guess I'll kick us off this time, and something we're going to do very soon, and that's I've been playing a lot of Minecraft on the PlayStation 4.
Nice.
It's Minecraft.
Yeah. Do we really need to talk about it that much? Like,
I don't think so.
I think everyone knows what that is by now.
Yeah. It
I have
does have a different trophy list, a bigger trophy list, and a little bit harder one, so
okay.
looking forward
Still
to
think we
tackling that.
you still think we can platinum it?
I think we can,
Sweet. Well, it definitely.
especially once they do the patch for PS3 so I can transfer my save. We can use my first world to get like a few of the trophies really
Okay.
easily.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Have you experimented with the multiplayer at all?
A little bit actually. I played a bit with a couple of friends of mine the other day.
Okay. And if we play multiplayer together, we'll be able to have like a persistent world we make together.
Yep.
Okay,
Like,
good.
well, whoever creates it, it'll be saved on their system, and we can just invite each other in when we play.
Yeah, it'll just be a matter of me always being the host or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just going to use this to ask you questions because we're making good time.
Okay.
Do you know how many people are allowed in a game together?
I think the max is 16.
Nice. Yeah, I
16
didn't.
or 8. I can't
Okay.
remember. One or the other.
I bought it on the PSN the day it came out, just so I could download it and have it ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even fired it up yet. I've been gaming, doing other things, watching TV.
Yeah. Well, I'll train you through it.
Oh, exactly. I'm already I know the basics of Minecraft because I played it on the PC. I wasn't really good at it by any means, but
Mm-hmm.
I know how Minecraft works. So
Yep.
I know, like, wait, how do I build a table? Well, what is crafting? So it's, I'll figure it out, especially with you to help me through it. So
Yep.
now we can even stream that a bit too for
Yes.
people.
Exactly. Maybe we can build some shit and maybe do some special live streams of it.
Yeah. Get the CanUK gang together for some live streams.
Yeah.
Well, those of us with PS4s.
Yeah, and Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well, most of us do right now, except for ECW James. He doesn't have one yet.
Jester's got a PS4?
Jester has a PS4.
I was not aware of it.
I wasn't either until I saw him playing Watch Dogs one day. I was like, "Do you have a PS4?" And he was like, "Yeah."
I don't even know if I have him on the PSN. What the fudge?
So we just need to convince him to buy Minecraft.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard.
Now, my question is, did you own it on the PS3 previously?
I did not know.
You, you may hate yourself now in a second, but if you had bought it on the PS3, you would have only have to pay $5 for the PS4 version.
Yeah.
And you would have got the Vita version for free.
Yeah. Rub it in. Well, hey, maybe I'll go get one of those $50 gift cards for $37 at Target. And the Target in my city screwed up apparently, and that's what they're selling PSN $50 gift cards for. So, I think a friend of mine bought like 10. Just said, you know what, screw it. This will be my my PlayStation games for the next few years.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what's something you've been playing?
I haven't been playing too much. Well, and too much in terms of variety.
Mm-hmm.
I've pretty much exclusively been playing the last week, 2 weeks maybe, or 3, Diablo.
Oh.
And I just finished it up yesterday.
Nice.
My first playthrough of Reaper of Souls. Well, both the regular game and the expansion. And on my first playthrough, I played as a witch doctor, which is like I did as on the PC, where I didn't even get that far in the PC. I only got to Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
I find the game I was kind of skeptical about it because it's originally a computer game and how well it would translate to the controller.
Mm-hmm.
No, it translates great.
Oh, yeah?
I had no issues playing it at all. Very smooth.
Nice.
So, yeah, there's no issues as far as that goes. But yeah, my witch doctor was basically in a lot of ways like the necromancer from Diablo 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was always my favorite to play as. And I played on just normal difficulty, and oh my god, it was so easy. Like, I killed Diablo, who's the end boss of Act 4 of the original game, and then Act 5 is the expansion from Reaper of Souls. I killed him in like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like my friends play on harder difficulties, like even just one difficulty harder. He said that fight took him like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's what it should have taken. Like, this was a joke. I'm just like, all right, here's the grasp of the dead. I spam my acid rain on you. I use the locust swarm to drain you, and then I just lob fireballs while my mana regenerates. And I'm just like, just brrr, done. Like, what?
Hmm.
Oh, come on, where's the fight? And even the last boss of the game, Malthael, who's in the expansion, the fight took longer just because he had so much health.
Hmm.
So, it took a little bit, and he was annoying because I could never really stand around and hit him because he was always chasing after me.
Hmm.
So it's harder to get my magic going. So it took a little longer, but at the same time, I was never remotely threatened. I never had to use a potion. I don't think I died once on my playthrough. So I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to ramp up the difficulty next time. But overall, I loved it, and I've been playing a bit of offline co-op with a friend,
Hmm.
which also works great. And I'm already thinking about going back and playing again as different characters, or even cranking the difficulty right up and playing through with my same witch doctor and keeping leveling him up and everything. So
Hmm.
the fact that I want to replay a game so soon after finishing it is a good sign.
Yeah, it's a very good sign.
So lots of replayability there.
Nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of replayability, one of the next games on my list is Rogue Legacy, which I've been playing even more of.
Yeah,
I'm like addicted to that game. I've actually beaten the final boss twice now. So I'm on my new game 2 plus at this moment, which I haven't dove into yet just because I'm scared on how powerful the enemies are going to be.
the
Oh, the
difficulties.
difficulty ramps up.
Okay, so it's relevant to your playthroughs and everything.
Yep,
That's good.
yep. Other than that, I'll just briefly mention my other one because I haven't done a whole lot of it yet. That's Mass Effect 1. I've been playing through that on the PlayStation 3.
Nice.
Still really at the beginning. I'm still at the Citadel. I
Yeah,
just got Rex, so yeah, I'm pretty early on yet.
yeah. I love the Citadel. I love that game. I love the series as a
Yeah.
whole.
I'm hoping by replaying, like starting at the first one and going right through the series, I'll appreciate it more than what I did after playing 2.
I hope so as well. I hope that jumping straight into two didn't ruin it for you,
Hmm.
because that was bad. Like to this day, that still bothers me. I ranted about this on an earlier podcast. I know I did, so I'm not going to. Go back and find that one if you want to hear my rant.
So that pretty much does it for me.
Okay, so
Uh,
I guess we'll move on to bin watching.
yeah, I guess so. Oh, didn't you play The Walking Dead recently? The
Oh
last
yeah, I
episode?
finished that. Right. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Diablo's been on my brain. Yeah, I finished up Walking Dead, did the last episode. Um, I'm not going to say any real spoilers because it's quite new still. So if you haven't, go out and play it. The last episode was good.
Hmm.
There were some choices I had a hard time making because I liked a lot of the cast in this game. I really did.
Hmm.
Just like I did in the first game. But, the last decision you have to make in the game was probably the hardest one for me.
Mm.
Hardest in that I didn't want to do it.
Yep, I
I,
agree with you.
yeah. Like, it was the easiest because it was just that acceptance of shit. Like, I know what I have to do,
Hmm.
but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So that was rough for me.
Hmm. Yeah, and in some ways it was almost a little bit harder than the last decision in the final
You
episode of
know,
the first series.
I'm actually curious, and I think most people have played through the end of the first one.
Hmm.
So I'm curious which decision did you make in the end of the first?
I shot Lee.
I left him.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't want to see that's me coming out saying I didn't want to expose Clementine to having to kill Lee
Hmm.
before he turns. Like even though he was going to turn, and she wouldn't want him to become a zombie.
Hmm.
At the same time, he was restrained and wasn't a threat to her.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make her take his life.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see that kind of thing. I wanted to preserve her innocence as much as possible.
Oh, okay.
Which again comes back to me caring for Clementine, like as she was my own daughter or something. Like,
I
yeah.
I think for me it was I did want her to do it just because she would maybe need to do something like that in the future as well. And well, in the first series, like I just cared. Like Lee became like such a favorite character of
Yeah.
mine. It was like I can't leave him in that state. Like to be a monster like that. It's like no, that's not how I want to leave Lee. It's like I want him to be at rest, at peace, and had to do it.
Yeah, and that's where I think for me, I know I thought about both sides about how Lee would feel
hmm
and how Clementine would feel, and I just felt that for me, the higher importance was on protecting her,
hmm
and that's why I made the decision I did, as tough as it was. Though it's funny because I talk about preserving her innocence, yet in the second game I play her as a badass.
Yeah.
I go around like, no, I'm gonna kill this dude. I'm gonna watch you kill this dude. I'm gonna do this. I am just cold and without remorse.
hmm
So no innocence for that girl. But yeah, the ending, it was tough a little bit, but it definitely lacked the full-on emotional hit that the first one had.
hmm Yep.
So
Right.
yeah,
Well, it's time to dive into our been watching section where I've only got a couple of things this week, so
yes, Sam. Not too much. I don't
yeah,
have too much to say about the things I've been watching, at least.
yeah, same here. First off, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Oh, really? I didn't know you. Tell me all about that one, because if you haven't done that on other podcasts, start from the beginning. What's it about? I hear there's like a rodent of some sort, maybe badger? Missile badger? Is that his name?
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what
Oh,
it is.
I'll stop trolling.
Yeah, I had to tie my Avengers record, so I had to go see
So
it again.
I'm gonna say, are you gonna beat it?
Uh, I guess technically I haven't tied it yet because I did see Avengers 7 times, but the seventh time was a re-release, so not really including that.
Well, are you gonna go a seventh time?
I'm debating it.
And
I
then an
am
eight?
really debating it.
Just make it an even 10, you've already gone this far.
Nah, with everything coming out now, I really can't waste a whole lot of money, so...
Well, October's right around the corner.
Fuck October, September's here is bad enough.
Winter is coming. Um,
Shit.
well,
Alright, and the other thing I've been watching is Netflix new original series, BoJack Horseman,
okay.
which is funny as hell.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, Aaron Paul is on the show.
Okay.
Uh, it revolves around this horse. Like all the characters in the show are like horses, cats. They're all kinds of animals, but in human type form.
Yeah, anthropomorphic
Yeah,
animal.
that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But the horse was a star of a 90s TV sitcom called Horsing Around, where he raised 3 orphan kids. And now it's, I think they said it was like 10, 15 years later. He's like this washed up celebrity, basically,
Okay.
who's always getting drunk, causing trouble, all this kind of shit.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the humor is like small humor, and they'll kind of build upon it and whatnot. For an example, there was one part in an episode where BoJack was trying to cause a distraction. So he was up on a roof throwing off money, right?
Hmm.
People came up to get it, and they're like, "Oh, it's only single dollars anyway." They were about to walk away. Then Beyonce comes walking down the street, slips on the money, and like hurts her ankle. So everybody's focused on her, the news and everything. And between a reporter and the news guy back at the news station, who's a whale, by the way, they're talking back and forth, and the reporter's like, she slipped on all the single dollars. the news guy's like, all the single dollars? All the single dollars. All the single dollars. And the news guy wraps up going, bills, bills, bills.
Clever.
Yeah. It's the humor is just so fucking priceless. It's a kind of dry humor. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you like that sort of thing, you like kind of the King of the Hill type humor, not
Okay.
as far, but it's extremely funny.
I might check it out at some point once I get caught up with all my other shows.
Hmm.
Now that season 5 of Archer's on Netflix, actually.
Ooh. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
is that Archer Vice?
Yeah.
Okay, I've already watched it.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet, so I gotta do that.
Hmm. Yeah, but I would highly, highly recommend BoJack Horseman. It's probably the best Netflix original I've watched so far.
Okay. I haven't seen any, actually. Other than, like, the new Arrested Development, if you count that, but no.
Yeah.
As for what I've been watching, I'll keep it on Netflix. I've been watching more Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
I don't know if I mentioned that last time we watched,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
we talked here. Yeah, I've been continuing with that, and it's story's still getting good. Action scenes are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really good series. I still highly recommend that.
Cool.
Other than that, been watching. I watched a little bit of True Detective.
Ooh, how's that?
It's good. It's actually surprising. Like I kind of just expected just a run of the mill crime drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
It deals surprisingly with the occult.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I remember Outrage or Doctor Lech or Doctor Rage or whatever he is now. I don't know who you are.
ECW James.
ECW, like ECW, like that.
Yes.
Wow, cool. Um, sorry. Um, he was talking about it, and a while ago when he was on the podcast one time with me as well, and he had said that there were a fair bit of Lovecraftian references because he watched the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know enough Lovecraft to really pick up on subtle references, but now that I'm seeing the show and seeing all the occult things, I can understand now how there would be Lovecraftian references. They wouldn't be, because at first I'm like, well, that would be really out of place on a show like this. No, they would not be out of place.
Cool.
I'm only 3 episodes in, but it's good. So I got to keep going with that. And then earlier today, I watched the most recent episode of Ray Donovan, which ending was kind of shocking. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night's episode. Oh, and Doctor Who as well.
Oh, I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, the last episode was good. I won't give away anything, but it definitely gives you... I found the first episode didn't focus too much on the Doctor himself.
Mm-hmm.
It almost dealt with more of Clara coming to terms with the fact that this is a new Doctor who just regenerated.
Yep.
And
we're doing the boyfriend crap.
Yeah, less lovey-dovey young Matt Smith, more of a man Doctor. I don't know. It's not that I didn't like Matt Smith. I found the first season or whatever he was in was good.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just found the writing really went downhill, and I stopped caring about the episodes for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as into the show as I was when David Tennant was around.
Mm.
And I found that the Christmas special wasn't that great to me.
Mm-hmm.
Bells of whatever.
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary special was brilliant.
Mm.
And
Yes.
and the first episode I liked with Peter Capaldi as 12 or 13 or whatever it is. Now that's all confusing. And this episode gives you more of him, and I quite like his difference to the previous Doctors.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that I'm really gonna like him the more I see of him. So
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
Cool. Alright, so I guess that does it for our been watching, and have you been reading anything?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been reading the tie-in book to Californication. Called God Hates Us All. It's not religious at all. It's actually funny because the main character, Hank Moody, he's written 3 books.
Yeah.
all three of them are taken from the titles of Slayer albums. One is South of Heaven, one is Seasons in the Abyss, and the other is God Hates Us All. All three are Slayer albums. So I find that's kind of cool for me as a metalhead. So I've been reading the tie-in novel, which is the novel that he releases in the show. So it's kind of weird, but it's an interesting read.
Okay.
I love the show, so it fits. Other than that, I've been reading books about serial killers. That's just more from a I don't know.
Research.
Yeah, like I don't know. Serial killers are interesting, so I read about that from time to time. So I won't talk too much about that. So yeah, that does it for us now for that part.
Cool. Well then, it's time for our shameless self-promotion first.
Okay. I think you have something very exciting to promote.
I know you were very happy when I announced this.
Oh, I was so thrilled.
Well, outside of my normal pickups videos and live streams I've been doing on my PS4 and Ride to Hell, I've started a new Let's Play series. Only if the first episode's up yet. I've started playing Hateful HBO Boyfriend.
I don't even know how you say it. It's like it's written as Hatoful.
Hatoful. Yeah.
I'm like, but what the hell does that even mean?
I'm just going to call it Hatio Boyfriend from here.
Yeah?
Unless I watch a review and they say the name properly, then I'll start saying it properly.
Like, to me, Hateful Boyfriend works. I don't know. Like, I know. I'm just like, I don't even know what this game is supposed to be called.
The thing is, though, I bought this as a joke. And I started the Let's Play as, kind of a funny thing to do, a what the fuck am I playing type deal. Yep. Then you show me the IGN review and it gets an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, am I playing a Game of the Year candidate now?
Well, exactly. I'm going to run over to Metacritic and see if they have a review up for this thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's there.
It has an average score of 71.
Holy shit.
Based on 15 critics, 7 positive reviews, 6 mixed, 2 negative.
Wow. Okay then, yeah, this is it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I just...
I'm actually curious on how my opinion is going to change from now till the time I finish it.
I'm very much looking forward to be along that journey, like watching these episodes. The first one was so entertaining just how weird it was. And the bird pun. Good morning, every birdie.
No birdies around.
Is any birdie here? But as I commented on the video, when they show like the crazy psycho nurse doctor bird,
yeah.
How come they played the theme from the Nutcracker?
I know.
Like, I didn't even notice it until I started to clue in. I'm like, wait, what? And I rewatched and I listened. I'm like, why the hell are they playing the Nutcracker theme when that bird is around? But it also confuses me because you named your character Lord X, so I keep forgetting that your character's supposed to be a woman.
Yeah. Which is so why I'm going to call it Lady X first. But...
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, well, that would have been way more helpful. I always forget. I'm just like, so wait, are you gay for these birds or what?
Just adding to the confusion.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm not opposed to interspecies homosexual or I don't know.
It's going to be a ride for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely check that one out. I recommend it. I've already enjoyed the first episode. I'm stoked for seeing you put more up.
Which will probably be tomorrow or yesterday, depending on when this podcast goes up. It'll be on the 7th for sure.
Okay.
I plan on recording once I get home tomorrow.
Nice.
All right. Did you have anything to promote?
Not particularly. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at @the_Highwin32. I've been thinking about bringing back the foxhole. I like talking. Even I don't have the time to do Let's Plays or figure out how to get my computer to work to do Let's Plays, but it's easy to record myself talking about things. I can always talk about music and stuff.
You can always do some PS4 streaming.
Yeah, I could.
That's easy to transfer over to YouTube then.
Yeah?
Yep.
One
click of a button to import over to YouTube.
perhaps I'll look at that at some point.
Not to mention, I believe YouTube uploading's coming soon as well. So
Nice. I might have to experiment with that and look into it. But regardless, I'll look at getting the Foxhole back up. It'll probably be a stripped-down version without the cool like codec layout and subtitles that I do.
Yeah.
Just time has become rather a hot commodity for me, and I think it's only going to get more precious as we go on. So I'll probably just talk and upload that and not even edit it and just be like, there you go.
Okay.
So, yeah, will hopefully bring that back. And, yeah, that's all my self-promotion.
All right, well, it's time to dive into questions and comments, and we actually just got a question pop up here.
Oh, really? So
actually, yes. It's not only that question this week. Joe Arnone, or Gamer Joe, just tweeted at me, what are your thoughts on hashtag Gamergate?
What is this?
I'm actually not too sure either. I've seen that popping up quite a bit.
So as of this very second, I don't have a thought.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm going to click on the hashtag and see what comes up.
Things like harassment and whatnot.
Cue up the Jeopardy theme, please.
Hashtag Gamergate. Here's why everybody in the video game world is fighting. What is Gamergate? Like all hashtags, hashtag Gamergate has come to mean about 500 things to thousands of different people. But it's heard it as two topics: the treatment of women in gaming and ethics in games journalism. Now, you see, we really haven't talked about this here on the podcast simply because we try and stay away from the negative.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I still don't understand it fully. How does this work?
Yeah, well, in regards to the treatment of women, the start of the story, which is actually the latest premonition of a long-evolving firestorm, came in August after indie game developer Zoe Quinn and critic Anita Sarkeesian, who does the feminine frequency videos, that crap, were both horribly harassed online. The same harassment later was lobbed at award-winning games journalists Jen Frank and fellow writer Maddie Reese. Both Frank and Reese say they will no longer write about games. The FBI is looking into harassment of game developers. That's the thing. Like, I'm not sure about the whole Zoe Quinn situation and her game Depression Quest. I really didn't look into that. As for Sarkeesian and her videos, I've tried to watch a couple. I absolutely hate the way she approaches a lot of the issues she's talking about, but that's her opinion. She can have it. I honestly don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't like it, I'm going to ignore it. You don't exist to me. But I really, just how people like go and harass them, like put up their personal information online, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you should not be doing that to anybody, no matter what their opinions are on stuff.
Yeah, I wish I could comment. I'd have to do some research just to figure out exactly what this is and everything. So
yeah. Plain and simple, we really haven't covered any of those news stories and topics here on the podcast just because we stay away from the negative. We want to talk about the good stuff in gaming.
Yeah, stuff to be excited about.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we talk about something negative, it's something
to make fun
negative
of
oh crap, this got delayed.
Yeah.
Oh crap, this game's been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we try to avoid the political negative of gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I could sit here and talk about feminism or whatever. Mm-hmm. I happen to hold some very strong political, social views. I don't voice them too much online. Mm-hmm. Just because those views are my own.
Yeah.
And while I do strive to support them in the real world, I just don't view online as the best forum just because of, I guess, all the hate and the shit on there. And you know what, even the trolls, because you try to post something online to make a point and give a message, and then you just get, you feed the trolls.
Exactly.
So I'm. I wish I could say something about this because it's cool that we actually have a question, but unfortunately, I don't know nearly enough about it to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Joe. It's kind of hard to answer the question, so sorry.
Maybe there is another question I can't answer.
Yes, and it's the question that you proposed to me in Israel last week. What are Big Boss's top 3 celebrity crushes and his one-man crush?
You know what? I listened to you guys do this, and I heard you say it, so I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna give you 3 man crushes.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with my 3 celebrity crushes first.
Okay.
Honorable mention will be AJ Lee. She's not quite a celebrity crush anymore because she's now engaged to CM. No, she's married.
Yeah.
She's now married to CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So she's off the list. I guess I have to get rid of my "Marry Me AJ" sign because clearly she turned me down.
I
And
just gotta add, divorce him, comma, marry me.
no, next time I go, I'll bring a sign that says "I asked you first." um, she's my honorable mention, though. In her place, I actually have the current Divas champion, Paige. I really, 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 really like Paige.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked her back on NXT as well. Like she's great in the ring. I don't know, something about her I like
Mm-hmm.
as well. I don't know. I think it's like following her on Twitter. She seems to have cool taste in music too, which
Mm-hmm.
I always find really awesome in a woman. And I don't know. I like that she's not the conventional woman. Like just like AJ was the same way.
Yeah.
She's not like the conventional female wrestler, and I feel the exact same way about Paige. So I think next time I go to a live WWE event, I will have a "Marry Me Paige" sign. Um, on top of that, so that's one down. Then I'd go with Emma Watson.
Nice choice.
Yeah. And number 1, hands down, would be Jennifer Lawrence.
Not bad.
I love Jennifer Lawrence. Pretty much in every movie I've seen her in. X-Men, especially, she was great there.
Mm.
Hunger Games, I mean, the story was shitty, but she did a good job. The second movie I enjoyed as well, and she also did a great job. And then particularly those Silver Linings Playbook. I really liked that movie, and she was great in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fun listening to her talk about how she is or isn't a slut. That was just hearing her say that. I'm like, this is gold. I love this. Yeah, so those are my top 3 celebrity crushes with my 1 honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
Now my 3 man crushes. Let's do this. I'm going to go with probably the most quote unquote obvious one. Stephen Amell from Arrow.
Okay.
I like him. He seems cool. I follow him on Twitter and Instagram. He seems to have a good sense of humor too, which is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2, which is kind of funny because I said how AJ Lee is off my celebrity crush list, but CM Punk is definitely on my list. Yeah, I like CM Punk. And my number 1 man crush, though this is in no particular order, but this is one that a lot of people are going to have to Google, maybe except you, though you might not know what he looks like in person.
Okay.
And that's Henrik Lundqvist.
Okay.
If you've ever seen him like without his goalie stuff, he's actually like a very handsome man. And I'm like, wow, like that's a good looking dude. And he also happens to be one of the best goalies in the NHL. So Henrik Lundqvist is also my man crush.
Very good.
And so there you have it. No shame. I'm 100% straight, but I can recognize when a man is good looking and when I have a man crush on him. So there you have it. 3 man crushes. That wasn't so hard.
You also had time to think about it.
Yeah, I did, but I also know this because I've had this conversation with so many friends before that to come out and actually just say it here, it's like, okay, well, that's easy.
All right, well, that does it for questions and comments, and I do believe we are done for once again another week.
There we go. We got it around the normal mark.
Yep. So, Big Boss, without further ado, do you want to take us away?
I can do that. So just a reminder, everybody, to leave questions and comments for future podcasts, and you can be entered to win a free game. I think we should do that for Gamer Joe.
Yes, we will.
X will contact him.
Yep.
So yeah, there's stuff to be given away. So leave questions and comments about anything. We'd be happy to answer those things. Yeah. So with all that said, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the CanUK podcast, in which we introduced a new special segment and talked about a little bit of news. As always, it's been a lot of fun recording this for you. And I've been Big Boss, and joining me as always, or me joining him as always, your host, Lord X, has been here. That was a really terrible run-on sentence. That was horrible. I'm ashamed of my grammar. So, all right, we're out. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Stay alpha.
Goodbye.